Telemachus. It truly never was about the size of the dog in the fight. So after being piped down by a BBC and watching his wife give him that Rusev and Lana special, Peter Parker had taken a completely justifiable break from acting, and after losing the only family he had left in that world, along with that universe forgetting who he was entirely, we cannot deny, as much as it aggravated us, his absence was the very thing that he needed to get his head back in the game. The guy was gone for half a decade but entered 2026 as if he never left. Tax return was no match for Tom Holland's income during this time in the year. Am I upset that they didn't go the Troy Boy 17 route? Yes, I am. But we live in a world where recycled content can become very repetitive and boring. As much as there was good setup for a Venom story, I appreciate them diverging away from that route. I still hope they cross that bridge someday, because it makes a lot of sense to actually include a story like that in the MCU. It's well invited. It's definitely a lot more invited than this.
Oh look, anal bead! Ah! Just like the real master of crime. How is this even funny? The Joker's supposed to be funny.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
You're holding anal beads.
I'll admit, I definitely got pessimistic due to all the other characters that the trailer was showing. I got worried it was going to be too crowded. But I really love how they incorporated them. They definitely connected them to Spider-Man in the best way. And I love how they never overstayed their welcome. The world building was just enough to make sure that you knew what they were doing, so that way, the absence that Peter Parker had where the fans were complaining, what the hell is he doing? We don't know if he's doing anything. It's making him boring. Where the hell is he? Now you kind of get an idea of where a certain group of people are, especially after the stories that have come out, as well as the original Avenger in Hulk. What's he been doing this entire time? Now you know what Elaine has been doing ever since Thunderbolts. Now you see what Frank has been doing ever since Daredevil. It's actually perfect. I'm really sorry if this is definitely uncalled for, but Bob, your POV can only be described as one thing.
Sensational.
911. Officer, right there. FBI, come on, let's go.
Speaking of world building, what an introduction to the X-Men. If this is Jean Grey, imagine what Cyclops and Wolverine are going to be like.
Finally, Mayweather says you have to stop eating garlic on these promo tours. Connor says, no, I fucking don't. Stop it. Your breath fucking stinks. You fucking stink. Oh, I fucking stink. Fuck you. Nah, fuck you. Nah, fuck you. Fuck you. I have more money than you. Fuck you. Nah, fuck you. Then Dana steps in. He's like, I actually have more money than both of you. So yeah, nah, fuck you.
Once again, a lot like the other characters, they've interwoven her story with Spider-Man's story in this big, beautiful web. They have me quoting the racist himself, Miguel O'Hara. That's exactly how much this movie has impacted me.
Wanna buy a beat-ass nigga from me? Those are the beat-ass niggas on that nigga there. Hildy is my nigga. Southern hospitality dictates. What is the point of having a nigga that speaks German?
It also sets up the bigotry against the X-Men in the best way possible, along with the very sentimental thing that inspires her for her Marvel Girl colors. Another thing this movie does that I didn't want to happen straight away was the interactions between Ned, Peter, and MJ. I'll admit, the way they handled it, I'm not against it. I'm actually a very big fan of the way they portrayed it, and it was honestly very wholesome and kind. I just felt as if they maybe rushed into that too quickly, like, give it a couple movies or so before he starts to get familiar. But nonetheless, it made you feel comfortable to get into that No Way Home dynamic that they once had. It was always my favorite part of that movie, and it really is one of my favorite parts for this movie too. This was also shown between the dynamic of Peter and Frank. The wholesome moments were there and the comedy was perfect. They took a dark character and actually made him believable in all of this goofiness.
You disappoint me, Mr. Castle. No. I thought you didn't take naps. Wait.
But they never dismissed the dark aspects of his character fully, and I appreciate that. And yes, his origin was also perfectly interwoven with what Peter was going through in this movie. I really like what they did with Hulk, making him that uncontrollable monster again. This character definitely has been destroyed over the last couple years, but we can finally have one thing, and I honestly hope Marvel does this. A movie in which Hulk has a lot of survivor's guilt and is going through grief. Mainly like what they did with Wanda in WandaVision. I want to see this guy completely out of his mind, angry at everything. I just don't want that little moment in Endgame where he threw that bench into the sky to be for nothing. I want all of that pent-up anger, all that sadness throughout the last couple years of losing that big friend group he had at the very beginning of all of this to be the next step in his story. I know a Hulk sequel is definitely out of the question due to how long it's been, but you've seen how long it takes for something like The Incredibles to have a sequel. This guy can be the Avengers' big bad. I mean, they're literally holding him in prison right now. We can finally get that Hulk that is basically a threat to people, and how the government is after him, and how everyone's against him, regardless of all the good that he's done. His rage came at a cost.
It's just me against the world, baby.
Give me a sequel to Deadliest Man Alive or Rage of the Hulk any day of the week. And I gotta give him credit, they did give a lot of love to the dearly departed.
Point out for Uncle Ben! Point out for him! Yeah! Bow!
In a world where he's all alone, she's the driving force that needs to keep him going. That Venom sequel is still up for grabs. It's not completely out of the question here. We could still add a little bit of hopelessness into this world, especially in that second movie. Make that the Spider-Man 2 of this generation. Instead of things being optimistic at the end, it's that dark cliffhanger in the middle, for which the third movie is going to come in and fix everything. And I want her to be the very thing there at the end of it to give him hope. This movie did have me on thin ice at the end. That moment just before the credits where it looked like Ned's memories returned, I don't want that right now. I need Peter to dwell in more hopelessness. A wholesome moment like that handshake can easily be done after all that hopelessness is like completely taken over his life, leading us into the optimistic third movie that fixes everything up. Everyone loves a little Ghost and Tommy hand-eye coordination moment, but you shouldn't waste it by rushing into it this quickly. From the way it's done in the movie, it seems like this would have been years down the line where Ned finally remembers. Listen, I know they ain't getting any younger, but we need to feel the burden of No Way Home. We need to know. Because when they get back, and trust me, be patient with it, I know they will get back together, it'll feel all the more fulfilling. The bottom line, Telemachus, you made your father proud, son.
There's like 100 dudes at my house right now, and they're all trying to fuck my wife, and my son's a little bitch, so I know he's not gonna stop them.
And yeah, I'm going to try to do a review on the Odyssey soon, because I'm not eating the same way after that movie.